I was 3 years old when Spider-Man 1 came out, and Spider-Man does something to a 3-year-old's brain. Like, the brain chemistry isn't developed, so you think little hairs are gonna come out of your fingers and that you'll be able to stick to walls, that it's okay to jump off the roof because your webs will save you. Basically, what I'm saying is you get Spider-Man fever, or you're just dumb. And from 2002 to 2007, everyone had it, not just the 3-year-olds. It was spider-mania. From the movies, the video games, the TV, the merch with this specific Spider-Man on it, the Dr. Pepper, Pop-Tarts, Singular Wireless, Nickelback. This was my childhood. I don't need to explain to you how cool Spider-Man is. You know this.
Spider-Man is
like, I get it.
So high.
Spider-Man has and will always be popular. The 90s show and the whole Venom Carnage era was sick. Currently with the Spider-Verse movies, MCU, the PlayStation games. But the height that Spider-Man reached in the mid-2000s? Oh boy, yeah. The year is 2002. Dilemma by Nelly on the radio while I play with my Bionicle in my car seat, almost home. So I asked my dad, "Can I watch Spider-Man tonight?" He said, and I quote, "Son, fuck Spider-Man. I can't stand him." Sam Raimi's Spider-Man was released May 3rd, 2002. I was way too young to remember my first time actually watching it. It kind of just has like always existed in my conscious mind. But I do remember seeing all the merchandise and marketing everywhere when I was really young, and they went insanely hard for this movie. I'm gonna wear this shirt to my wedding. I'm also gonna pull up in a Spider-Man NASCAR, eating a Spider-Man Pop-Tart, drinking Spider-Man Dr. Pepper, wearing my Spider-Man dual-action web blaster. God, that'd be so cool. I love this movie. I think my nostalgia actually prevents me from finding any issue with it. It has the perfect tone for a Spider-Man movie. It feels like a live-action comic book in the best way possible. It doesn't try to be edgy like the other early 2000s superhero movies, which I kind of like the edginess of those movies too, I'm not gonna lie. But this is just Spider-Man. Look at that man's aura. The film is fast-paced, but it's still not afraid to take breaths, be sincere, and delve into the emotional core of why so many people love this character in the first place. And it's made with so much style. The editing, the music, the way the camera moves with each shot, especially like swinging, the New York setting, the energy and impact you feel in the fight scenes. To this day, there's not a better final fight in a superhero movie. I'm sorry, this is, what the fuck? I used to watch this scene as a kid and reenact it at the same time, and I'd just be in the living room pretending to get the shit beat out of me. It was like the SpongeBob episode where Patrick beats himself up to make SpongeBob look tough, and he smacks his own ass. Speaking of ass, Green Goblin, god damn.
What do you think, Big Cheese? I'm not Big Cheese! Nah, the suit looks good, but can you make his ass, like, juicy?
I adore the Green Goblin. Specifically, I've always loved the rooftop scene with Spider-Man and Green Goblin for some reason. The way he smacks the back of his head, so funny. I feel like it's underrated how funny Green Goblin is in this movie. Like how does he scream like that? Why does he just say, "Oh"? There are so many memorable scenes from this first movie alone. When Peter gets bit by the spider, when he gets his powers at school, the death of Mr. Uncle, bro, what? The death of Mr. Bean, the first swing, the upside down kiss that I thought was just like a normal way people kissed when I was 3. The Thanksgiving dinner, I had to beat an old lady with a stick to get these cranberries. The parade, the fight in the fire, the impaling of Green Goblin's dick with his own glider. Everything J. Jonah Jameson does. I missed the part where that's my problem. I'm just saying the whole movie at this point. Spider-Man was the highest grossing film of 2002 domestically, and it was almost $100 million higher than second place. This was the first live-action Spider-Man movie, a character that was already iconic. So people were foaming at the mouth, buying Singular Wireless Spider-Man phones and wearing Spider-Man Reeboks. And this was just the beginning of it all. Alongside the movie, there was also a movie tie-in game. Spider-Man, the movie, the game. I swear to God, this was the first ever game I had on PC. It's a fun game. It's a little outdated playing it now. You kind of just swing from the clouds and the controls feel really clunky, but you can play as Uncle Ben's killer. and Green Goblin. I think the best part of this game and all the movie tie-in games is that the actors actually reprise their roles from the movies. So you get to hear Tobey Maguire talk.
No matter how much you want to hold on to a moment, you can't stop time from moving on.
You could just tell he really cares. The cutscenes go surprisingly hard in this game. Very Y2K intro. I like it. And this game, despite its flaws, might just have like the greatest ending of all time ever. So
Yeah, that's my life. Complicated. Looks like you're done now. Go outside and play.
okay, this is a lot to process. Making out with MJ as his best friend's dad is lying dead on the floor 3 feet away. I love Spider-Man. So 2002. What a year for the web-headed arachnid. How was 2003 for Spider-Man? It was cool. Someone like myself might even say underrated, because on July 11th, 2003, my favorite Spider-Man series of all time premiered on MTV, Spider-Man: The New Animated Series. The series is really cool because it takes the events of Spider-Man 1 as canon and acts as a continuation of that story.
I get that you think Spider-Man killed your father on account of he did.
Which is then immediately contradicted by Spider-Man 2.
Wow, Dr. Connors.
But hey, that's okay. You know how I said Spider-Man 1 is not edgy like the rest of the early 2000s superhero stuff? This show is. There's a lot of death, there's sex jokes, there's Austin Reeves, there's horny people for Spider-Man. It's genuinely so weird to see a Spider-Man show like this. The plotlines always revolve around Peter, MJ, and Harry's college life. They're always walking around campus, talking about relationships, going to parties, and Peter's trying to balance all that with also being Spider-Man. I swear, almost every episode ends with some type of relationship problem being resolved or getting worse. Peter is always kissing someone at the end of an episode. I think like the first like 5 or 6 episodes, Peter kissed someone like at the very end.
They say Professor Williams is gonna be all right. Yeah, thanks to you know. Yeah, I do know. Pete, I'm not sure what to think anymore.
Thought he was about to kiss Harry. You could tell this was made for MTV, but you know what? I like it. There's a love triangle. It's interesting. I was invested, but goddamn, Peter's wild. The show covers some pretty complex storylines for a Spider-Man show. This girl literally jumps off of a building so that Spider-Man will come save her and be with her. Electro is bullied and comes back and kills the bully. Spider-Man is mind tricked into thinking MJ is dead, and he goes fucking crazy with revenge. The darkest Stan Lee cameo ever happens. And then Spider-Man is mind tricked again into almost killing Indy, the other love interest in like the love triangle. I'm team MJ, by the way. I don't fuck with Indy. The show ends with Peter giving up and quitting being Spider-Man. And that was it for the show. They only made this one season of 13 episodes. And yeah, what a fitting way to end the edgiest Spider-Man show of all time. Obviously, this show isn't for everyone. I think that's apparent by its cancellation after one season. Growing up, I didn't even know this show existed. It wasn't made for kids. And Spider-Man during this time was pretty lighthearted and not edgy, at least in the movies. Had I watched it in 2003, I probably wouldn't have really liked it. But as an adult, I adore this show for how different it is. The animation is full of that early 2000s CGI charm. The way Spider-Man swings around in fights is echoey and Matrix-like. There's always trance and techno music playing. It's very Y2K. I like it. I also think this is the best Spider-Man. He's funny, he's sarcastic, he's a nerd, but not like a freak nerd, like over the top. Like I love you, Toby, but bro is pretty weird. So 2003 gave us an underrated gem of a Spider-Man show. And at the same time, all the promotional material and merch from Spider-Man 1 was still everywhere. The first trailer for Spider-Man 2 came out that December, and my life was for real about to change. So 5-year-old me ate my Spider-Man cereal and got ready for the best year of Spider-Man yet. 2004, my Spider-Man fever got even worse. June 30th, Spider-Man 2 was released in theaters with a movie tie-in game that same week. Spider-Man 2 had even better marketing than the first one, but I also was a little older, so I do have more memories of it. There were so many Burger King commercials. What's up with Spider-Man and Burger King? They did it again last year with the red Spider-Verse Whopper. Like, why are they always collabing? I remember watching Nickelodeon every day and seeing so many promos and commercials relating to Spider-Man 2. This is the best Cheez-It commercial of all time. I don't know any other commercials for the game too. The ones for the DS, They made it look so cool. Adults posted up together playing Nintendo DS. We should do this. Lunchables, the action figures, Apple Jacks, Keebler elves. It was all infecting my brain. Remember when commercials for albums were a thing? Dude, the Spider-Man 2 album is so fire. So the movie being good was cool too. It's only a top 2 superhero movie ever made. Spider-Man 2 is my favorite Spider-Man movie, and I could rewatch it every day and never get sick of it. I think it's because of how relatable the story is. As a kid, it's like, damn, Spider-Man cool as hell, looking sexy, fighting Doc Ock. As an adult, it's like, I hate rent too, and I'm also broke. Help me pay for rent by liking and subscribing and all that stuff. Share the video. Okay, sorry. The story goes into the psychology of Spider-Man, and that's not a normal thing for this genre. This movie has so much spectacle. The clock tower, the train scene, the bank scene, the little son Jr. But then you'll get a scene where depressed Peter eats a piece of chocolate cake, and it's the best scene. Or you'll get a scene where May tells Peter what it means to be a hero, and you'll cry like a baby. Doc Ock makes for such a great sympathetic villain. And oh my god, he can fight. Why is this 20-year-old movie still the peak of superhero action? The way the tentacles are used, pretty sick. Also, they seem kind of chill, like the way they light a cigar like that. Like, I'm also a big fan of when the bad guy turns good and helps the hero at the end of the movie. That's my favorite trope. I'm so in love with the world that these movies create. The whoa, he stole that guy's pizza guy. The guy who actually tries to steal the pizza. The lady who won't pay for the pizza. Pizza time. Everyone just feels like a real tangible person. They're not just extras in the background. It gives the fictional city of New York so much personality. So when Spider-Man saves the city, you actually kind of care. So like, when is the Mr. Dickovich lore dropping? I love the music in this movie. Hold On by Jet is so fire. You tried so hard to be someone that you forgot who you are. This scene needs more love when people talk about this movie. Fucking Mr. Dickovich, man. Spider-Man 2 is basically Peter having the worst possible life for 2 hours. So I'll always love the way it ends. This is a movie about Spider-Man having depression, feeling like he can't ever open up and ever have a good thing in his life. This ending is perfect. So Spider-Man 2 was critically acclaimed and also the second highest grossing movie of the year domestically, behind only Shrek 2, which is fair. It was widely considered to be the greatest superhero movie of all time when it was released, and the movie tie-in game might also be the greatest movie tie-in game of all time. This game was the first fully open world superhero game. I didn't ever own this game growing up. I had Ultimate Spider-Man, which I'll talk about when we're in 2005, but I did play it at friends' houses because everyone else had it. The one thing I remember about this game is the pizza levels, which I think is valid because, you know, the music is like kind of hard to forget. So I replayed this game now as an adult, and I can see why it has the reputation it has. The swinging still feels really smooth and intricate. The combat is way better than Spider-Man 1, but you can't play as Green Goblin or Uncle Ben's killer, so what does it matter to you anyways? Treyarch developed this game and the other Spider-Man games during this time, which is really weird because they did this then just like became Call of Duty. But you could tell they were having so much fun making this game. It's so unserious. Whether it's the narrator, Bruce Campbell, just hating on you,
loser,
the civilians telling you to get a job, or just like all the Mr. Z's pizza stuff. Yeah, the game definitely strays from the source material, but there's just so much charm to it. Mysterio makes this game. His levels are weird and like clown and alien related. Why do I feel like the 2000s has so much more alien related content? Also, the Mysterio boss fight is so like great. It's pretty great. So I'm a big fan of this game, and not even necessarily for the gameplay, which is definitely good, but for how dumb it is. Like Tobey Maguire is so funny. Like, dude, he is so dry. So that was 2004. 2005 was the following year. That's how years work. And although there wasn't going to be another Spider-Man movie till 2007, the next 2 years were pretty great for Spider-Man. 2005 and 2006 were a little weird because it was the first time since 2002 that no new Raimi Spider-Man media came out, but Spider-Man was still everywhere. You couldn't exist without seeing this Spider-Man drawn by Scott Johnson. A lot of times next to Wolverine and Hulk. That was Marvel's big three at the time. Pre-MCU Marvel was wild. It was crazy. Backpacks, lunchboxes, coloring books, shoes. I could make such a fire fit with these shoes. September 22nd, 2005, Ultimate Spider-Man came out for the Game Boy Advance, GameCube, DS, PS2, Xbox, PC, GameCube, DS, PS2, Xbox, GameCube, PC. Sorry guys, I glitched out right there. And I got it for the GameCube, the best console. This is the only solo Spider-Man game from this era to not be a movie tie-in. Instead, it was based on the Ultimate comics, which I love. I played this game a ridiculous amount growing up. I'm obsessed with the comic aesthetic and the cutscenes go so hard. Playing as Venom was unfathomable for my 7-year-old brain. Venom eats a kid. Like, what the fuck? And he fights Wolverine. This game is fucking awesome. As much as I love this game, you know what I hated? The stupid poopy trash races you had to do. Fucking so difficult as a kid. Why are you naked? Marvel Nemesis Rise of the Imperfects also released this year, same week actually, which is kind of weird, but Spider-Man was in it. I love this game's art design. It's so grungy and grimy, has the classic green tint, very 2005 game. It was a fighting game with Marvel characters, and I'm pretty sure a bunch of them die in the story. Spider-Man says ass. It's like 2006 had Marvel's Ultimate Alliance, a game I wanted so bad as a kid and just never got. You also had the actual comics in the mid-2000s, which, like I said, I loved the Ultimate Spider-Man ones. So there was still some cool stuff going on with Spider-Man. And kids like me were honestly just so ready for Spider-Man 3. The build-up was crazy, and we all knew it. Venom was coming in Spider-Man 3. Stop being weird. You're being so weird. Spider-Man 3 would release in theaters on May 4th, 2007, Star Wars Day. As an 8-year-old, it was difficult to think about anything else because, you know, Dark Whoppers, Cheese Nips, Papa John, Baskin Robbins, all the Flash games. I really miss all the Spider-Man Flash games. Black Suit Spider-Man was a marketing cheat code. It was Red Spidey versus Black Spidey. If you choose red, I'm judging you for sure. This was the height of Spider-Man fever everywhere, everyone. It was wild. You had the hype built off the last two films. Plus you inject Venom. People love Venom. I was so locked in. I was eating fucking Burger King, bro. Like the other movies, there was a tie-in game that they milked the shit out of and made for every console they possibly could. I played the Wii version of this game as a kid. I think I rented it. You used the Wii remote and nunchuck to swing. It was, but I'd still absolutely recommend it because it's hilarious.
Please, help me. My wife won't come.
Don't call back.
Angry Tobey Maguire. There's not a lot of things better in the world. This game wasn't very liked by critics, but critics don't understand comedy. Spider-Man 3, the movie, is a masterpiece. That's what I felt at 8 years old. It's also what I feel right now. I like the movie. I know. Big shocker. I hope I put like a big shocker. Like the villain. I watched this movie and I genuinely get confused as to why it has so much hate. Is Eric Foreman dumb? Yes.
Hey, Parker.
He's dumb. He's a weird. He's a little weirdo. Like Venom is a little weirdo for sure. Gwen Stacy.
You okay?
Which is why are you here? But I think everything else in this movie works. Well, also maybe not fucking Bernard waiting 10 years to tell Harry his dad actually killed himself and that it wasn't Spider-Man.
He died by his own hand.
But other than that, yeah.
Bernard, I just avenged the fuck out of our dad. I kind of killed Spider-Man. Oh, shit. Really? Yeah. Wait. What? Oh, nothing. Yeah. Fuck Spider-Man, right? Why are you being weird? Nothing. It's just, your dad, yeah, he killed himself. What? Wasn't really Spider-Man. Why the fuck didn't you tell me that before I killed him? Well, I didn't think you'd actually kill him, but yes, it's on me, I guess.
I don't fuck with Bernard. All my homies hate Bernard. Fuck Bernard. What the fuck is your name, Bernard? What the fuck? Everyone named Bernard watching this right now just sad as fuck. Sandman's really cool. Could have been the best villain of the trilogy if Venom wasn't here. It's kind of a double-edged sword with Venom for me because on one hand, he was such a big part of the marketing and merchandise. And as a kid, that was everything. So I have a lot of nostalgia for it. But on the other hand, Sam Raimi didn't want him in the movie.
I tried to make it work, but didn't really believe in all the characters.
And Sony forced him into it. And you could tell. But also on the third hand, I love emo Spider-Man. Give me some milk. The women agree. Bully Maguire is hot. How can you not love this movie? I can't believe Peter chose MJ over Ursula and Betty. Told you this Peter is a weirdo. This movie also makes me cry multiple times, and it gets dark, like really dark. The black suit is a metaphor for addiction, and I think it's done really well. This movie reaches such high highs. There's definitely some dumb stuff, but I'll always love this movie. Plus, the score is so good. The black suit is so fire. The fight scenes go so hard too. Sam Raimi, I love you. You know what my favorite part of this movie is though? When Peter gets rid of the symbiote, it's implied that he swings home naked. So everyone in New York saw his Peter. That was 2007 and the end of Spider-Mania. Spider-Man 4 was planned to happen next, but was canceled after disagreements between Sony and Sam Raimi, and I am still very sad about that. This isn't to say Spider-Man was trash after this era, but I don't know. There was just something in the air in the mid-2000s. I'm not 3 years old anymore, but when I go back and watch Spider-Man 1, or even see something as dumb as a Spider-Man cereal toy, or listen to Vindicated by Dashboard Confessional, it gives me so much happiness. And I know I'm not stupid, it's nostalgia, but I just saw these movies again in theaters for their re-releases, and I felt Spider-Man fever all over again. Spider-Man is cool. I like Spider-Man. Thank you guys. Just want to say you guys are fucking crazy. Like, I can't believe I have over 2,000 subscribers now. This is nuts. I did not expect this. When I made my last video, the video game eras one, I was content with it. Like, I knew I was happy with the video, but I also, like, I've been making videos for a long time, and I kind of reached a point when I released that video where I was like, this is just like my hobby now. I'm just gonna do this for fun, and I'm gonna be proud of it, and I'm just gonna, you know, like, I'm gonna make the videos I want to make, and if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, if it gets 30 views and that's it, that's okay. Like, I have accepted that. And then of course it's my biggest fucking video, and now I got this momentum. So hopefully this carries on and you guys enjoyed this video too. If not, let me know and I'll try better next time.
Lately, I ain't been the same lately. You see me smile, but I'm faking.